go see what these dweebs are talking about. What do you think?
We need some room for some dirt.
I ain't got no room for dirt.
Can I put it in the front seat of your pickup?
Yeah.
I have a bunch of room for dirt in there.
Okay, good. Well, Matt's gonna fill you up.
All right. I'd like to start with the dash. If we could fill the defrost and the air conditioning vents in.
Windshield, to be honest.
Just cave the windshield in?
Yeah, and then fill it up there too.
That's the way to do it, Matt. All right.
And
that's why it's got them sharp teeth on there. That's for ripping the windshield out, plumb down to the bone there.
And the cab off.
Oh yeah.
You have a convertible dirt hauler.
Man, that's something I've always wanted. I'll tell you boys what, that's the most exciting thing ever happened to me. All right guys, so we're back at it again. We got the whole family out here. Look at this. We got little kids running everywhere. Mommies and daddies and cousins.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Daddy. Oh, Daddy.
What? It's the three Tweedles. Tweedledum, Tweedledee, Tweedledumbest. Back out here rocking and rolling again, and today we're doing all kinds of stuff. We've got old Pops. Y'all like Pops. He's out here rocking and rolling. He's only got about 20,000 hours on a skid steer, so he's over there shaping, making all the berms for irrigation. Steven's over here running the mini axe, digging a hole in the side. I don't even know if he knows what he's doing. You know what you're doing, Twelver? You know what you're doing?
I'm digging.
He's digging. He's digging a bunch of this out. You heard it right here from the man.
Yeah, somewhere between them two oak trees right there.
Right over yonder?
I'm digging back, and then digging down the front of those, basically to the back of that Durango. That way all this is flat all the way over. Not
Hell
up
yeah.
on a hill, you know?
I got a lot of cool memories in the back of a Durango.
Oh yeah, in Durango.
Yeah. Oh, Steven's mad, bro. We done blowed up the hydraulics on our buddy Matt Johnson's case. Not really, it had a line leaking. What happened?
They ain't blowed up, they just low.
They just low. So we got Napa bringing another 5 gallons, put 5 in it, it's still low. So yeah, we don't want to burn up the hydraulic pump on this thing. Had a line that was leaking over here, we got it tightened up, but it was a little too late. Anyway, that thing's rolling. And Steven's digging all this stuff out for fill. That fill is gonna be used to fill in the driveway, which we're gonna start rolling in lifts just like we did on the rock wall over here. If we get enough time today, we're actually gonna keep going. From those butter blocks, they're actually gonna turn around and head towards the trees over there, and we're gonna fill all this and shape that stuff down too, so. Bye, y'all. All right, so the wife and the kids are out of the way again. We're gonna rock and roll. Oh, we got one more. They're flashing us. But yeah, this is gonna taper down all the way out to the driveway. We're gonna bring some of that stuff up. Bye. And start rolling in lifts and stuff. We've got to get the level of the road higher, move our berms around. Like I said, the old man's over here rolling. That's old Papa Holden right there, rocking and rolling. Look at this guy. This guy should build golf courses. So what he's doing, I don't know if y'all noticed before in any of the other videos, but this was all extremely irregular down this edge. And so what he's been doing is bringing fill dirt. We've actually had Matt, MJ Construction, he came out here with his backhoe, which has got a 3-yard bucket on it. And he's been moving material from all the spots we don't need it. That big hill that's back there that y'all have seen. Everybody's commenting about the oak trees that are getting killed back there. We excavated around them, we're doing what we can. We're trying to get that dirt off of them as soon as possible. And so some of that dirt has been brought over here, and you can see all this stuff's being shaped for the irrigation of water to run from the high spots down here where we want. So we are shaping all this according to what the engineering plans dictate, and try to make it look as good as we can and leave all of our trees as happy as possible at the same time. So that's what Danny's doing, is he's shaping all this stuff to help direct the water flow to where it needs to go. And yeah, that's what he's doing. So Steven and Matt are on the other side of the building. I'm gonna take y'all over there here in just a second. And they're digging out more material to use for fill and backfill on all this stuff that we've got to shape. Look at those butter stick blocks. Booyah. Damn, that looks good. So you can see the grade that's happening here. This kind of falls here, this falls here, so this is where the water will channel. We're gonna actually roll this in with the roller sitting over there and make this super duper tight, as tight as we possibly can, so that it's minimizing erosion. And before too long, we're gonna get with our buddy at Acacia Landscape over here in town and get those dudes to help with the grass that we want to put in here. We're just trying to find out how much more stuff we're gonna destroy before we start rebuilding. So let me show you over here. This is Matt, MJ Construction, his new piece of equipment. That thing is freaking baller. He's been over here digging out all this stuff for material, and you can see he's pushing that down there and making a windrow to the left side because we need to bring the left side of the road up. So he's gonna take that down as fill, and we're gonna roll all that in for all the subgrade for what is eventually gonna be our finished road. Steven's over here excavating all this. We're basically gonna go from where you see that box on the side of the building. That's the tie-in for power that runs underneath here, which is giant wire out to the wellhead over there. And that's what's gonna lift the water up into this tank and eventually feed into this tank. We've also got our water tie-in, which is right here, that we've got to excavate from here over to the pump house. So we've got this one, it's gonna run across and tie into that one, and we're gonna try to make the shortest run we possibly can, because buying electrical is very expensive, especially when you're drawing big ass cable through conduit. You want as few feet as possible. It gets expensive quick and in a hurry. All the painter dudes are in here. Well, a couple of them are left anyway, pulling off the plastic and the tape off the windows. They were in here this morning doing touch-ups on all the paint. Had Zach from the shop over here setting in all these bats of insulation and stapling those up. Thank you, Zach, for your contribution today, man. Appreciate the love. And got paint in here drying. Man, I really love this color. This is an awesome color. It looks killer in person. It's like a grayish white. Really gonna pop whenever we get all of the artwork and our TV up on the wall and the desk built for my dad. We were talking to another guy about hiring him up here in the front in the last couple days, so we're excited about the prospect of having a couple dudes up here in the office. But right now, that's kind of what's going on here at the new shop. I'm fixing to get back up on this genie and lift my goofy little butt up there and staple some of this insulation in. See how much of that I can wear in my eyes and ears and all the cracks and crevices, and try to get it done. Ain't nothing else to do other than to get it done. So I'm gonna do all the 2x4 walls, which is all the upstairs stuff, then have to run down to the Home Depot and get us some 2x6 bats for these outside walls. We don't really need the insulation to keep the air conditioning cold in here. Again, the entire envelope of this shop is completely done in spray foam. 3 to 5 or 6 to 8 up on the ceiling, 3 to 5 on the walls. So it's not for insulation necessarily for cooling or heating. It's mainly for insulation for sound. And that's gonna be an important thing, because we're gonna be hammering away out here, and we really wanna make sure that inside this main office where our customers are gonna be coming in, that you're able to carry on a conversation and, you know, not be listening to air hammers just beating your brains to death. So we've got some crown to go up in here to take care of that spot that needs furred out on the very top wall. And we're gonna shim this outside purlin and trim across here and trim the doorway and this entryway as well. We got a few things left on this. We've got the sweeps on the bottom need to be done, and the auto closer little hydraulics that go on the top side of the doors need to be installed. And really looking forward to that. Today is Saturday, and on Monday we've got the electricians coming back, and they're going to be putting all the LED lighting in up here, which is 6 lights per bay. They also have to do the drop down stuff for what's going to power the lifts. And you can see the J boxes that are up here. These junction boxes is the tie-in for the lift. That's going to plumb straight down onto the side of the columns that basically land, I don't know, you can faintly see the chalk lines down there where it says motor. Basically from there straight up, plumb, gets you up to where that tie-in is. and this should be really clean as well. This is where 3 of the lifts are gonna go. We're excited to show you all the lifts we bought and the brand that we bought and the reason why we bought them. That's coming very, very soon. We're doing everything we can to make this shop 100% American. Our brother Robbie is down in town. Y'all seen him out here. That's old Tweedledumbest. And these guys did a great job. This was like 3/4 of an inch thick of junk across the floor. Got a lot of that cleaned up, so we're looking pretty good. And we're making some serious headway. Both of the air handlers are mounted back here in the corner. Got plastic draped over them for the painters to shoot all this stuff black. Those things are fixing to get pulled off. We're gonna have short runs of ducting that come out to blow the air out this way. That one's gonna actually kick at an angle. And then we've got our big ass fan that's gonna mount up to this beam in the center, and that's gonna help distribute all of the air out here in the shop. And this is gonna be a really nice place to work in. All the doors open on clickers, LED lighting, and also this is all wainscot in white steel panel. I forget what the panel's called. It's got 3/4 inch pleats in it instead of like the R panel on the outside of the building has a much larger variance. This stuff has 3/4 inch pleats, and I forget the name of it, like M panel or whatever it is. It's 6-inch on center pleats. It matches a lot of what's going on here, but it's gonna really brighten up the entire room by having that white all the way around. We also just got all of our epoxy. Y'all saw that. We're gonna get the floors mopped and cleaned up. It's gonna be time to lay down the epoxy and see what this place looks like with a nice floor. Hey guys, what up? It's Sunday, and of course we're back out here working. A lot of site work done. You can see how much more nice usable parking lot that we have just from cutting all the material out there and getting this cut back yesterday. Our old man did a really good job shaping up on that. We started moving material down the driveway. Kind of ran out of time, but it's okay. We got plenty of stuff to do and no time to do it. So why freak out, right? Hey, but for real though, we are just trying to keep checking stuff off the list. And so Sunday morning, we got 12er. How you doing, 12er?
Solar panel.
You don't have to sleep, you don't have to eat. You like to work.
I party hard and I work hard, sure.
Yeah, but you look good. How you doing, bud?
Doing good.
Yeah, you're not tired?
Not at all.
Work doesn't make you tired.
No, makes me happy.
Yeah, sun doesn't make you sweat. So we're trying to finish up this thing. We sheeted it not long ago, got it framed up, and we had the water well guys come by here. This is Rockin' R Water Wells. They're out of Bernie, and they do fantastic work. And those guys have taken care of us and done another job here on this, well, I guess here on the shop that is something you can be proud of. We have everything set up that we need in the right order. Very clean install. We got a little heater over here in the corner. We got thermal overload things, pump savers, and all that goodness. Really clean PVC work. So now that this is done, we had to get this insulated and framed up so he could come knock all this stuff out. And now we're here to put the roof on before Robbie splits and heads back up to Dallas. We're gonna finish this up today. So we're cutting all the rafters to get started up here. And we're gonna deck this bad boy. And then we're gonna have to get some tar paper and some type of roof over here. Alright guys, so we are cutting the last 2 rafters in the run on either side, each extreme end of the wall. And we're cutting these saddle cuts in them. For the life of me, I cannot remember what that little rafter finger is called, but you can see that these are like little 1.5 inch deep notches, and it's for a chunk of 2x4 to lay sideways, and it actually is going to lay through the saddle that we just cut. It's set flush with the top of the rafter, and it's gonna run back to the next closest rafter and nail in from the end so it's flush across the top of them all, and then nail down into this rafter, and that's gonna hold these little fingers. Again, I can't remember what the name of these are, but they come out here and they support the fascia. And so we've got 3 laid out in the middle of the field, if you will, of the last rafter. And then these fingers are gonna actually run long, and that's what we're gonna use to nail the center of the fascia board to, so it has something to support it, and we'll be able to come in and use our soffit underneath it. We're actually gonna 2x4 the perimeter, then 2x6 fascia, use the 2x4 as a nailer, and we're gonna set a nailer along this perimeter all the way around this thing so that we have something to nail our soffit to finish out where bugs and flying insects and stuff can't get up inside of there, and kind of seal that thing off. Now there's other ways of doing this. You can actually buy 2x6 that has a dado cut out in it, which is like a channel that's actually been cut out, and it's designed for actual soffit, the dimension of soffit to fit in one side, and then you just have your nailer against the wall on the other side. But because this isn't like artistic expression and it's just a pump house, we're just gonna make it work with what we have and caulk it up and paint it up, and this thing's gonna work just fine. So you can see how these saddles look now. Steve is doing a pretty good job. We don't have a jigsaw, we don't even have a powered saw, we just have a freaking battery powered Makita. But we're still trying to be proud of what we're doing. So you can see that he didn't overcut them real far, took his time on cutting those out. Let me demonstrate this to him real quick, Steven. So when these saddles are cut out to fit a piece of 2x4, they're 3.5 by 1.5 inch deep. Sorry, my camera's all whack here. This is actually gonna lay down in between, and it's gonna get nailed vertically into this rafter, and then this ass end of this is gonna run all the way over to the next rafter, and it's gonna nail in that way. And that's gonna keep this stout enough, because you're nothing real crazy going on, but stout enough to hold that foot of overhang that we're doing a 1 foot overhang all the way around. That's gonna hold our fascia up, and that's what we need to do. So the last 2 in the run, one extreme end, the other extreme end. Then we're gonna start laying rafters in here. I've got them laid out on 16s up top, start nailing them in, and we'll be that much closer to cutting these. Maybe by then I'll Google and find out what the name of these are, and I can tell y'all, and then we'll show you. These are all setting in here on 16s, and we're fixing to actually, at this point, we're gonna put I could do the math on the wall, but there's a little bit of irregularity as far as the length of those go. And so what I want to do is put a really straight fascia board on the outside and then measure to it. And then these will lay in, and if we need to move it in or out, I cut a board shorter or longer to adjust the fascia. That way, when you look down at it, it's square. So right now, because we didn't get long enough material for the front of this, we were originally going to do it out of 2x4 and realized we had a brain fart and that we needed to have 2x6 so that the 2x6 will run down past the soffit underneath. We realized that 2x4 are going to work, so we used the 2x6 we had laying here. Well, we don't have the right length to run the full length of the front of it, so we're going to do a miter in the middle of it, and Steven just got done cutting the short end. This is actually going to lay out on one of these rafters on this end. Then we're going to 45 the ends all the way around, put all the perimeter fascia on, and then we're going to bump those little fingers over to it. Once we get those nailed, then we can come back and start throwing some of the plywood on top and decking this thing, get closer to being done. All right, so you can see the perimeter of that is done on the front. The back edge back there runs all the way, and then this side. And then we've cut these boards that I still don't know what the hell they're called. I Googled and I can't find them. But they run back and tag into that rafter. And because of the way this is all going and we're half retarded about what we're doing, we're now gonna turn our 2x4 sideways as a nailer. That way about 2 inches up on the inside of the 2x6, our soffit's gonna fit, and it's gonna look good. So we've got the outside fascia board cut for this side. Fixing to set it up there, run those out. Our couple of verticals in there for nailers. Then we're gonna sheet the top of it, and we're gonna be done with this thing for today. Matt from MJ Construction back over here, rocking and rolling. He's got to take this piece of equipment to another job, so he's digging out basically where you see this trench line across there for all usable dirt. Then we're gonna take all that fill and use it over there on that side, on that hill that's gonna taper out, and down the driveway and around the corner so we can build that thing up. We don't even have any work left to do. It's a good thing I don't get tired or hungry.
Nope.
Or sleepy.
Nope.
Or anything. What do you think? Are you sleepy or tired or hungry?
Full of energy. Let's go.
Yeah. Robbie's a good liar. Robbie's a good liar and he's a good motivator. You gotta have one of those, man. All right, now y'all get up there and get it done and I'll watch. All right, hurry up. Thank you. Bye.